From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Saturday was a big day for Troy as 15 young women competed for the title of Miss Troy University. One lucky contestant walked away with the title and will represent Troy at the Miss Alabama pageant in June. Xavier Harris has the story.
Saturday evening, Troy University held its annual Miss Troy University pageant, where 15 girls competed to try and earn the title of Miss Troy. But as the pageant director explains, getting ready for the pageant was no easy task.
We have an interest meeting about 4 or 5 weeks out, and then the packet information, which is a lot of paperwork, is due 2 weeks prior to the pageant. Then we start pageant preparations, which is we have a tea with Miss Hawkins at her home, and then we have the first rehearsal for practices, and that starts the Sunday before. And then we normally have 2 other practices during the week to get ready for Saturday night's performance.
Singing, acrobats, monologue, and sign language were just some of the talents that were shown during the talent portion of the pageant. One of the contestants explains how she prepares for the Miss Troy University's pageant.
Preparing for Miss Troy was something that I started early with. I made sure that I had all my ducks in a row. I got my dresses, I got my swimsuit, and everything like that.
As the evening went on and the 15 young ladies tackled tough on-stage questions, swimwear, and evening gown categories, only one young lady could be crowned the new Miss Troy University. Hannah McDonald, a senior from Prattville, Alabama, majoring in elementary education. When asked for an interview, McDonald started off by telling why she chose her platform for Miss Troy.
My platform is Ronald McDonald House Charities, and it actually chose me. Whenever I was born, I was a sick baby, so Ronald McDonald House in Birmingham went firsthand with my family, and they were able to stay there, and that was the glue that held them together, so it's been close to my heart ever since.
And for any young lady considering doing the next Miss Troy, what are some things they may need to know?
Definitely do it. It's scholarship money, and everyone needs scholarship money, so it's worth a chance.
There's some rules, as far as competing in Miss Troy, you have to be a student in Alabama, so there's a lot of rules, but they can come by my office and talk about it. 256 Adams Administration.
Xavier Harris, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll hear more from the new Miss Troy later in the show during our Trojan Talk segment. And Troy University inducted 3 new members into the Alabama Educational Leadership Hall of Fame this week. The induction ceremony held Thursday in Hawkins Hall honored Tommy Ledbetter, a veteran educator known as leader in the area of adolescent literacy, and included 2 posthumous inductions, longtime leader of the Alabama Education Association, Dr. Paul Hubbard, and former Alabama State Board of Education member Gary Warren. The Alabama Education Leadership Hall of Fame is located in Hawkins Hall, the home of Troy University's College of Education. And Troy University is preparing students for the future job market as they launched a new minor this fall based on some emerging technology. Clay Yeager gives us a look.
Troy University is presenting students a new minor offered under the Department of Chemistry and Physics. The Unmanned Aerial Systems minor is not only new to the university, but Troy is the first to offer the minor in the state of Alabama.
Troy will be covering the entire spectrum of aviation training, fixed-wing helicopters and now in unmanned aerial systems. There's no other school that's doing that right now in Alabama, and so I like being out there. And I think it'll train them to, someday, it doesn't seem too far-fetched to say that, you might be the CDO, the Chief Drone Officer in your corporation.
However, some people may ask the question, what do unmanned aerial systems actually do?
Basically, any system that can be controlled from the ground or can operate autonomously that will allow you to observe or sense things from the air.
According to Alan Back, these aerial systems will be a booming industry, bringing in an estimated $82 billion. Alan Back also mentions that the military will not only be using drones, but corporations such as Amazon and Google.
I think it'll position our graduates to go to companies who don't know anything about these machines but want to. And so having this on your resume is going to make you stand out. It'll help differentiate you from the rest of the pack. And it's going to just be, I think, something that a graduate going into the modern job market is really going to value.
The unmanned aerial system classes have already begun, but you can expect the 2015 classes to take off next year. I'm Clay Yeager with Troy, TrojanVision News.
And classes for the new minor are available for students next semester. And across the state, many citizens cast their vote in Tuesday's general election. And while voters were deciding offices that have a local and national impact, there are some young people who aren't necessarily aware of the day's significance. Courtney Addison explains.
Americans everywhere have worked a trip to the polls into their daily routine to let their voice be heard in the 2014 general election. Ashley Larimore is a political science major and gives us her thoughts on college students taking the time to vote.
If it weren't for voting, then how would your public officials know how you feel? And how would your state government know how you feel and know where you stand?
And some politicians use today as a last-minute campaign stop on Troy's campus, and one even had a four-legged supporter. Voting isn't a privilege that everyone has, and one student tells us why he feels it's important that everyone heads to the polls.
A lot of people I know have fought for the right to vote, especially in women and minorities. With the rate our country is going, we need people to take a stand and really try to get things done and get things changed for the better.
While many Americans marked Election Day in their calendar, some college students, not so much. Do you know what today is?
Today is the Tuesday the 4th, maybe.
And is there anything special going on today?
Saga might be serving something interesting. I don't really know.
Do you know what today is?
November the 4th, 2014.
Is there anything special going on today? Do you know what today is?
No, I do not.
Is there anything important going on today? Do you know what today is?
Today is November 4th, 2014.
And is there anything special going on today?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well, today's actually Election Day as well.
Oh, I knew.
Larimore says she feels students should take a more active role in the political process.
It hurts, and then it's, how have you ignored so much that's been going on? It makes me wonder how much students are paying attention to the news and to the world around them.
In the state's biggest election, Governor Robert Bentley was reelected to serve another term. Well, we'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll take a look at the Trojan soccer team's trip to the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're the stronger than we look type, the braver than you think type, the type that knows the time will come when we put type 1 behind us. We're the progress is inevitable type, the hopeful for a cure type, the type that will stop at nothing until type 1 becomes type none.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy TrojanVision news.
The Trojan soccer team wrapped up their regular season as the most successful in program history. The Trojans were able to clinch a number 2 seed in this week's Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Amy Austin takes a look at the soccer team's regular season success.
So one of our goals was to finish over 500 because they've only done that 2 other times in program history.
The soccer team has had one of the best seasons in program history. The team finished regular season play with a 14-5 record, and head coach Jason Hamilton said the success is important to the soccer program.
Anytime you can come in your first year and have as much success that we have, it's obviously very special. I think it's something that's needed for a program to go in the right direction. The wins and losses and all the records, that's special on one side of it, but for the direction that's going to take this program is even more special.
Many records have been broken over the season, from crowds in attendance to individual players, and Hamilton said this is due to the goals set at the start of the season.
We set goals that were achievable and we exceeded them, and I think it's a credit to the girls coming in and having a new coach, completely new system, a new style. Everything's thrown at them. They just kind of took it upon themselves and, accepted it and pushed on with every challenge every day.
Not only has the season been beneficial to the players and coaches, but Hamilton said it has also been key to getting Troy's name out there.
Putting Troy soccer on the map. And again, that's going to affect us down the road. From club coaches, from players that come and visit, we never heard of Troy soccer, but you win 14 games in the season and you've got players being recognized week in and week out. All of a sudden that you're making a little bit of sound, not just in your conference, outside of the conference, which is important for us.
And as for how the team did in their first match in the tournament, well, they made a little history as the Trojans won their first ever Sun Belt tournament match against Louisiana Lafayette on Thursday. In the second half, Alyssa Jones received a pass from midfield as she split 3 defenders and scored her 12th goal of the season. Jones is now 2 goals shy for most goals of the season, which is 14. Jones was excited about being a part of Trojan history.
It's huge. It feels so good. We've worked all season and all 19 games leading up to this, and that's all. The beginning of the season, our first goal was to make it to the conference and make history and win it for the first game, so that now that we've accomplished that, it just feels really good. The morale is really, really high, and we're all really excited.
And you can keep up with the Trojans' progress in the tournament throughout the weekend by going to the athletics website, TroyTrojans.com. Well, Friday was Halloween, but while many people were getting ready to do some trick-or-treating, one Troy University organization was thinking about another holiday. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
While the city of Troy prepared itself for Halloween's festivities such as trick-or-treating and costume parties, Troy University's Spanish club decided to commemorate Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. The club held a bake sale which contained several types of desserts for students to buy.
We have Halloween cookies, we have chocolate chip cookies, M&M cookies, Rice Krispie treats, cupcakes, and we have Latin American cupcakes, tres leches, which is 3 milk, and brownies, and we have Mexican hot chocolate cupcakes and lemon meringue cupcakes.
The bake sale's purpose was meant to raise money for several projects and scholarships the club wished to sponsor.
We were raising money for t-shirt money, stuff for the club, like movie night, and we're also trying to get money up for the study abroad scholarships.
In addition to selling sweets, the Spanish club also had another activity planned to raise money.
As you can see, the Spanish club has also included face painting in order to allow students to get physically involved with the event.
However, the paint was not just for fun, it also had a symbolic meaning.
Yes, the painting represents reconnection with your loved ones. You paint skulls on your face because your lost loved ones are disconnected from you up until this time. It's supposed to take the fear and the scariness out of death, and it's a happy time, not a sad time.
Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And students walking across the North Quad this week may have come across a ring of books that definitely don't look like they came from the library. As Jordan Nelson shows us, these uniquely decorated books are a way that one art class is trying to spread the love of reading.
Troy University loves to get students involved in reading, and this year's Big Read Initiative, Fahrenheit 451, sparked a creative flame with one art professor.
I'm trying to support the Big Read and the university-wide reading initiative of Fahrenheit 451. And a lot of the students that are in my time and space class are incoming freshmen. So what we try to encourage the incoming freshmen to do is understand the importance of reading. I also want the students to draw a connection to the importance of reading and research in developing works of art.
Ms. Leach had her students display their art on the social quad to give other students a creative view on Fahrenheit 451 and other banned books. Ms. Leach also told me a little bit about how the students created their artwork.
So we started with Fahrenheit 451 to generate an altered book. The students would then find books they could then, in effect, deconstruct and create an independent work of art.
I was able to speak with a few of the artists to gain a little knowledge about their work.
I decided to base my book off of Animal Farm because that was a banned book and the plot of it kind of relates to Fahrenheit 451.
With my book, I wanted to use the idea of individuality versus conformity, which was a big idea in the book. So that's the idea that I wanted to portray with my book.
And I chose to make the last scene into my book where the world is blown up. My quote is, "You can't make people listen. They have to come around in their own time, wondering what happened and why the world blew up around them." And it ties in the ending of the Common Reading Initiative to the art installation that we did.
Ms. Leach and her students are very hopeful that the display will gain the attention of other students and get them interested in reading.
It can make people want to dive into the book themselves and get their own ideas.
The display will be up through the end of the semester. And Troy University is home to a variety of student organizations that serve on and off Troy's campus. And one of those organizations focuses on the success of student athletes. J.C. Affelt has the details.
The members of the Troy University Student Athletic Advisory Committee, also known as SAC, is a group of Troy student athletes that meet every 2 weeks to discuss how to lead the student athlete body within the community.
SAC, we're just really like the voice between the athletes and the administration. And we really just try to get, as many people at different sporting events and just do stuff for the community and really just try to get as many people involved with athletics as we can.
SAC is not just run by Troy University student athletes. SAC also has multiple advisors that help plan events with the student athletes. In fact, there is one SAC advisor who is really excited to see the impact that this group can make.
Well, personally, I'm a former student athlete and I didn't have a SAC, so it's been really great to kind of live vicariously through them and really kind of push them towards being leaders for the rest of the student athlete body. And it really excites me that they're really innovative and come in here excited each Monday.
Civic Engagement Chair Erin Woods says that her favorite part is watching the impact that SAC has within the community.
Seeing the product of what SAC does as far as in the community, seeing the kids light up just to see that, a football player's coming to check in on them. So basically the reaction of the community from athletes giving back, basically.
SAC has several events planned for the fall semester. You can follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Troy SAAC. J.C. Affelt, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And many students join campus organizations to broaden their horizons, usually with a social or academic focus. But as Whitney Butler shows us, there's one student organization that is dedicated to helping welcome future Trojans to campus.
Being a part of the Trojan Ambassador Association is not only about showing prospective students and their parents about Troy University, but it takes hard work, determination, and enthusiasm to fulfill the job.
So as Trojan Ambassadors, we work a lot of events on campus. We're the official hosts and hostesses of the university. So we work a lot of events like graduation, honors convocations, career fairs, just really anywhere where they need representatives of Troy to kind of lend a helping hand in whatever capacity that means.
Versus that encourage students to join organizations like the Trojan Ambassadors. And while some students just want to put it on their resume, other students find this organization far more rewarding.
There are a lot of rewards. Honestly, just like the time I've had here at Troy has been truly a blessing for me, and just being able to share that with these incoming recruits and just getting to share my experiences and recruiting them to hopefully share some of the same experiences that I've had during my time at Troy is one of just the many rewards that I have of being an ambassador for Troy.
While most prospective students feel that the ambassadors have made an impact on their college decisions, ambassadors really find each tour they give as a reward within itself.
Being a Trojan ambassador is influencing other people on their decisions for college, maybe making a difference in their lives, showing them what Troy University means to me, what it does for the community, and things like that.
If you or anyone you know would like to become a part of Trojan Ambassadors, information will be available in March 2015. Whitney Butler, Troy Trojan Vision News.
And we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll hear some offerings from our friends at Troy Public Radio. So don't touch that dial.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy Trojan Vision News.
Each week we take some time to hear some of the work done by our broadcast partners at Troy Public Radio. This week we'll get another sample of Talk of Troy, the student-produced newscast of Troy Public Radio. Let's take a listen.
To Talk of Troy. Voices and sounds from the campuses of Troy University. I'm Joey Hudson. A student group at Troy recently formed to welcome diverse members and foster dialogue, and they recently spoke with producer Katie Ganaway.
The motto of the Spectrum Alliance is to be non-judgmental and accepting of anyone who wants to learn more about the LGBT community. This is reflected at their meetings, according to Spectrum's Vice President, Kayla McCormick.
Each meeting has a different theme. Sometimes they're really fun meetings, sometimes they're more serious discussion meetings, which can be really good for helping them understand our points of view.
Spectrum's membership is diverse, and President Jana Wieser says its main goals are to provide a safe zone for members of the LGBT community and broaden membership for the group.
We have a lot of allies, and we value them, and they're the greatest part of our group, and you don't have to be gay to come to our meeting.
Spectrum meetings are on Monday nights at the Trojan Center on the Troy campus, room 224 at 7 p.m.
This Veterans Day, Troy Public Radio's In Focus will feature an interview with retired Command Sergeant Major Benny G. Adkins, who recently received the Medal of Honor from President Obama during a ceremony at the White House. Adkins, a Troy alumnus, was recognized for his actions during 38 hours of close combat fighting. Adkins' military career included a third tour in Vietnam, and
after he retired, he earned his master's degree, became national commander of the Legion of Valor Veterans Organization. He has earned his retirement, despite what he says.
Tune in for Carolyn Hutchison's interview with Command Sergeant Major Adkins on Tuesday from noon to 12:30. I'm Joey Hudson, and you've been listening to The Talk of Troy, a production of Troy Public Radio.
Throughout the week, Troy Public Radio can be heard on 89.9 in Troy and Montgomery, 88.7 in Dothan, and 91.7 in Phoenix City. And it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll hear from the new Miss Troy University. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Food. It nourishes, brings us together, and adds flavor to life. That's why it's important to wash hands, surfaces, and fresh produce. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods like fruits and vegetables. And cook to proper temperatures using a food thermometer. Enjoy! And refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. For more tips on safely preparing foods, visit homefoodsafety.org.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy TrojanVision News.
On Saturday, Hannah McDonald was crowned Miss Troy University 2015. This week, I had the chance to sit down with the new Miss Troy to get to know a little about her and her preparations for Miss Alabama. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is the reigning Miss Troy University, Hannah McDonald. Hannah, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the new Miss Troy University and will now represent the school at the Miss Alabama pageant in June. And first off, just how do you feel about being Miss Troy University?
I'm just overjoyed. This experience has been amazing, just being able to compete with these other girls that I go to school with and now holding the title as Miss Troy University.
Now, let's get to know a little bit about you. Tell us a little about where you're from and what you're doing in school.
Well, I'm from Prattville, Alabama, and I'm an elementary education major. I'm a senior this year, so I'll be interning in the spring.
All right. And now, Miss Troy University goes to Miss Alabama, and you haven't been to Miss Alabama before.
No, I haven't.
This is going to be a new experience for you. So what's your expectations, your hopes for making the move up to the big pageant? So
just getting to meet all the girls. I know we're going to have a great time together and just be able to spend time together and learn about each other and each other's platforms. And while we're all there, of course, it's scholarship money.
And but you do have a little bit of experience. This is your first time winning a Miss Alabama preliminary, but you've got somebody to get some advice from, because you are a legacy of Miss Troy University here, because your sister was a Miss Troy University as well, and has been to the Miss Alabama pageant. Talk a little bit about that. So,
my sister Laura, she was Miss Troy University 2007. So getting to talk to her and learn about her experience is really going to help me at Miss Alabama and to be able to compete.
And so now, with her being Miss Troy, did that help guide your aspirations to participate in pageants and this pageant in particular?
It did. It's such an honor to be able to be the second to be Miss Troy University. I don't think that's ever happened before, to have sisters, but just being able to see her compete and what she learned and took from it definitely encouraged me to do it.
And now, are there any other siblings in the McDonald family?
I have a brother. He's in between us.
Okay, but there's no chance of him trying to be Miss Troy University.
No, he's already past time. He's already graduated.
Oh, already graduated. So there's no chance for him to be it anyways. He's already gone. So
right.
Good. Well, it's a shame we couldn't have 3 McDonald's as Miss Troy.
That would be awesome.
So, well, at this point, you're getting ready and prepared for Miss Alabama, and one of the big things about the Miss Alabama pageant is the platform and what you're working toward in your going towards Miss Alabama. And so, what is your platform? What are you working with for the pageant?
My platform is Ronald McDonald House Charities, and it's really special to me because whenever I was born, I was a sick baby. So my parents got firsthand experience at the Ronald McDonald House in Birmingham. So it's been close to me ever since, and I try to do everything I can to bring awareness to it and support the Ronald McDonald House.
And so, what are some of the things that you've got planned to help promote that platform over the next year?
Well, one thing that you can do is save the pop tabs off your soda cans. So I'm wanting to have a campus-wide pop tab drive to raise as much to keep a family there for at least a week. So it takes 75 pounds for one free night for a family. So my goal is to be able to have a whole week's worth saved up for the people there.
So an opportunity for folks to keep on the lookout for a chance to help out Miss Troy with that here in the coming year. So let's talk about the pageant preparation in and of itself. Now, you said you've got some advice from an older sister who's been there and done that, and of course there's a support team here at the university that's going to help guide you there. But personal preparations, obviously, what are you looking forward to? What are you looking the least forward to in getting ready for the big pageant?
Well, a lot of preparation goes to getting ready for your talent. So being able to practice that, and also watching the news and current events. You'll have an interview. So I want to make sure I know everything that's going on in the world, and just doing platform work and just doing everything else I can to prepare.
There's a long road ahead between now and then. I'm sure it's going to be a busy time for you.
Yes.
Let's talk a little about your talent. You said you got to prepare for your talent. What did you perform in your talent at the Miss Troy pageant? Are you planning on doing that at Miss Alabama as well? So
I performed a classical ballet piece on point to the Black Swan from Swan Lake.
And so are you planning on repeating that, or are you going to change things up before you go to Miss Alabama?
I'm still not sure yet, but it will definitely be on point.
It'll be on point. So you're going to stick with the talent, but you may do another piece. So,
right.
And now, once again, you're going up to Miss Alabama in June. I'm sure that you're looking forward to trying to get some of these, some Troy support, getting up there and supporting you in June for that.
Yes, absolutely.
So looking forward and excited to see you represent Troy University, the Miss Alabama pageant, and what you're going to do for the university between now and then as Miss Troy University. Once again, I want to congratulate you on your new title and wish you good luck on your next step, possibly to become Miss America someday.
Possibly so.
And then I'm going to bring you back here if you do, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
well, thanks for joining me, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the first week of November 2014. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune into Troy Trojan Vision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or follow us on Twitter at Troy TV News, or like our Troy Trojan Vision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy Trojan Vision News. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy Trojan Vision Weekly. Have a good week.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
We depend on our national forests, but now they're depending on us. The Arbor Day Foundation asks for your help in replanting our national forests.